Valuable lesson learned today. Some of you have seen my short I posted from TikTok, and the response I got on TikTok is just absolutely stunning. I was posting a video of our local grocery store of the prices of meat. Hamburger meat was $4.99 a pound. Steaks and stuff like that were higher, right? The average response I got was, "That's cheap." No, it's not. It is not. Hamburger meat, when I was growing up, that was honestly the staple, right? Because you could get it cheap and you could get a lot of it. Before the pandemic, hamburger meat around here was 99 cents a pound, maybe $1.99 a pound, right? Right in that price range. Pandemic rolls around, prices shoot up, and we're told, well, it's because of supply and demand and shortages and all this stuff, right? Prices never came back down. And now they have people brainwashed into thinking $4.99 a pound or more for hamburger meat is perfectly acceptable prices. It's not. It is not. It's like I've always told you. They shoot gas up close to $5 a gallon here in my area. I know in yours it may go 7 to 10, but $5 a gallon here in my area, and when it falls back down to $3.50 a gallon, people are like, "Oh, okay, that's cheap gas." No, it's not. They have people brainwashed here. You know, a lot of them are the people that start calling up every fall, "When's it time to get my booster?" Right? And you know what I'm talking about. Guys, these prices and the way things are going cannot be sustainable. They can't. You know, my short today was, how is people in the city affording this, right? And the reason I said the city is because people that live out in the country like this, they hit the woods, right? They get them some deer meat, squirrel, rabbit, whatever their forte is that they like to eat, right? Fishing, whatever. They subsidize what they have to buy with the woods, right? They go out in the woods and the streams and help put food on the table. How are people that solely shop at grocery stores able to afford groceries? How? $5 a pound for hamburger meat? That is absolutely astonishing prices. Higher than that in some places, I understand that. But the overwhelming response I got was, "That's all right, that's cheap." "Oh, well, you're looking at a certain cut of steak. You know, you're looking at prime rib or New York strip. They're always higher." It wasn't that long ago that hamburger meat was cheap. It really wasn't. You sit there and think, well, you know, 5 years is a pretty good long time. Yeah, it is. But that price has tripled from what it was 5 years ago. And of course, we're hearing there's a meat shortage, a cattle shortage, just like we hear egg shortages. Who remembers when eggs shot up, right? They're still high to me. Eggs are high to me if you go to the grocery store to buy them. We cannot sustain these prices. I don't care if you're making $30, $40, $50 an hour, right? This isn't pre-pandemic. This is now $30, $40, $50 an hour. Your buying power is the same as making under 20 before the pandemic. Your insurance on your cars has skyrocketed, right? No tickets, no accidents, and your insurance premiums double, right? And you ask them, well, why did my insurance go up? Well, it's because uninsured motorists. Everything keeps going up. Everything. Your power. You see the Facebook stuff all the time. We switch to LED. We cut our lights off. We do this and do that, but our power bill keeps getting higher, right? It comes down to simple, not supply and demand as they want you to believe. It comes down to greed. Greed, plain and simple. How much money can we fleece from these people buying our product until they stop buying it? Well, once they hit that, okay, we can back it down and they'll complain, but they'll keep buying it, right? Guys, you've got to get out and grow a garden. I know it's the fall, but you know what I'm talking. Get out and go in the woods and hunt, fish, and help. Some of you are like, well, I live in the city, I can't do that. And I understand that. But the majority of the people that watch my channel, they're outdoors, right? A lot of people already do what I'm saying you need to do. But people in the city, how can they fix this? I don't know. I really don't know. At these prices, hamburger meat in the next, if it keeps going the way it's going, hamburger meat in the next 5 years will be $10 a pound. Well, then you start hearing, well, you know, they're lab grown meat, you know, they'll start dropping the prices on that because of that. No, where we're at, it's not ever going to come back down. It's not. $5 a pound for hamburger meat. Man, that's up there. Growing up, like I said, hamburger meat was something that we had a lot, because it was cheap meat. Excuse me. Some people don't eat hamburger meat. They think it's nasty. But if you grew up in the country, more than likely you ate hamburger meat at some point in your life. But it's getting harder and harder to buy groceries. If you buy your soup, like a can of soup at the grocery store now, used to be 50 cents. Now it's $1. Why has supply and demand fell down, but yet prices are staying up? Greed. Plain and simple greed. That's all it is. Most of you know that. Guys, it's starting to frustrate me really bad, especially when you go and you look at the grocery prices and you think about why is it this high? And the people that say that's a fair price for it, where's your headspace on that? Where are you coming from? Are you one of these people that make $100 an hour and $5 a pound hamburger meat's not that big of a deal to you? If you are, congratulations. But the average American living paycheck to paycheck, $5 a pound for hamburger meat is bad, real bad. It We've got to do something to fix it, and I don't know how to fix it. The only thing I can tell you to do, if you're capable or you live in an area where you can get out in the woods and you can hunt and you can fish, go do that. Maybe find somebody in your family that hunts or fish. A lot of times they're more than willing to help you out with some fresh game or fish. Maybe give them a little gas money for when they go or something like that. It's got to the point where I don't see how this can keep going. I really don't. And one other thing that's really striking me, what is Trump doing putting all these National Guards on the street? What's he doing? Is he expecting something to happen? Is he seeing something that we don't know? Is the alien mothership coming? I don't know. We may do a video on this tomorrow. But the main thing today is how are y'all getting by with these grocery prices if you're having to shop and buy all your food at a store? How's it possible to do that and pay all your bills? If you're making enough money that you're comfortable living that, congratulations, you're way on up there, right? But I think for the average American citizen, it's hard. It's real hard. Little update: we still haven't figured out what's going on here with YouTube. The other channel, we're not going to post on it much, but we will post a video here and there to keep it, kind of active. But if you ever come on here and you cannot find this channel, we will be on that channel. We had to do a backup channel. They're still not very clear with me what happened, why they're so upset. Y'all know that got demonetized a couple of months ago over a short about the assassination attempt in up north, we'll just say that, and the picture was of the shooter, and all it said under it was, how did this guy get on the roof? And I got popped. They told me I was promoting terrorism for that. Well, they suspended my monetization for 90 days. And in June, when it was supposed to be reactivated, all of a sudden, the crickets, right? You're not hearing nothing. And then the next thing I know, they're talking about possibly getting rid of this channel, that they're going through their checks and progresses and all that on all my videos. So the other channel's there for an emergency backup to stay in touch with y'all. Or, some people, I've told you before, this right here to me, I love coming on here and talking. Some of you are like, well, you're talking to yourself. Some of y'all talk back. You make comments and things like that. And I like hearing everybody's opinion, whether I agree with it or not. I've told you before, sometimes somebody made something, it makes me change my mind about a situation, right? I like to hear from people on what's going on. But guys, these meat prices, we thought they were bad in the pandemic, right? Kind of made sense, right? Kind of. They're high because this thing's going on around the world. Okay, what about now? Why is it still high? Greed. That's why. Guys, Stay safe, keep your head on the swivel, be aware of your surroundings all the time, protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person to do it. Stay safe, keep prepping. Thank you to the ones who went over there to subscribe to the backup channel. I will post every now and then just to keep it active, I guess is what you would call it. And we'll keep you updated on here about what's going on with this channel. But if you come on here one day and you can't find it, we'll be on the second channel with an explanation of what's going on. I don't know, guys. It's politics here on YouTube, but like I've said before, when you sign that agreement that everybody just swipes through and agrees to, you're playing in their ball game with their ball, right? They own the whole team. So it's part of it. Stay safe, y'all.